I'm down at the Firbeck Hall. Not been down here for 2 years, but it's been renovated. You can see these recently built gateway to it, and it's actually been tarmac down here, and I'm absolutely sure when I came down last night that work wasn't going ahead, but I could be wrong. Right, the first part of the hall that was refurbished was West Lodge, which is just here, gatehouse. Now my understanding is that before they could actually build extra houses on this site, they actually had to renovate the original hall. Now the original hall was built in the 1600s. I think that was actually built by a solicitor who worked for the Earl of Shrewsbury, I think, or somebody along those lines. Wealthiest guy in Sheffield. Well, not the guy who built the hall, but the Earl of Shrewsbury would be. So, and then after that, it passed from one family to another, one sort of rich family to another. Then in the 1930s, a Sheffield stockbroker called Nichols bought it and turned it into a plush country hotel. There's a big swimming pool here and everything. And there was actually an aerodrome close by that was created from a field. And people like the Prince of Wales used to fly in to this in the 1930s when it was the place to be. You used to have BBC concerts on a Saturday night, front bands there, and that used to get broadcast live on the BBC network. So it was absolutely the place to be. During the war, the local aerodrome became RAF Furbeck, and you'll find the museum now down at Doncaster Sheffield Airport, Robin Hood. I think it should be around here, but it's not. It's been moved out from round here. During the war, I think it was Squadron 613 that was relocated from Netherholme, which is just down the road. But the hall was both a hospital for Sheffield Infirmary Extension and also the base for the RAF place. After the war, I think it got took over by the Coal Board as a recuperation place, then up to the 1980s something to do with the NHS for recuperation of some kind as well. Then it got into disrepair, and now it's been sort of turned into luxury sort of apartments in the main hall. Then I think they're going to start building houses around it now. But I'm going to go around to the back end and show you the work on there, but it's done to a really high standard. I would have preferred it to have stayed as a hotel rather than a private dwelling place, because if it was a hotel, it gives people more chance to actually come away for a weekend and sample what it would have been like to be in a glorious house like this. I'd like to have seen it being like Thoresby Hall, but not so tacky as Thoresby Hall. So I'm going to show you some of the billboards just up here. I've had to come back and film these billboards. For some reason they didn't film very well this afternoon. So, but they're quite integral to the actual video I'm doing. As you can see, the quality of the actual renovation of the building. But it's actually filming much better at the moment as well. I mean, that is a site plan of the view from above, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to go down to the field where the lake is and actually show you the actual completed renovation of the main building from that angle. At the bottom you can see the stable area, and then behind the house to the right you can see like new builds which are modelled on the existing house, which look rather nice, but they're going to be an absolute fortune, probably about £1 million an house if I'm not wrong. But the thing before the actual developer could build these extra houses on site, you had to do the West Lodge and the main buildings, and then he's allowed to, I think, then do the new builds after that, which is where he's going to make a lot of money. See, same again, you can see the quality. And I'd love one of these. But my opinion is it should be a hotel really, where everybody can go for a weekend. It shouldn't be just like those who can afford the houses, because it is part of our history. I mean, this is quite beautiful really. So the video will then carry on now from the lakeside by the cornfield, and it'll give you an appreciation of the renovated house. So I'll catch you later. So I'm outside the Black Line in Furbeck, bottom end of Furbeck. There's only about 300 people live at Furbeck. I think in the last census the actual population of Furbeck went down. I'm absolutely sure that one bit you could get into the hall this way. I'll just take you down. You can actually see entranceway stones, and if you go a bit further down you can see a sort of sign saying keep out, and I'm absolutely sure this would have been a second entryway into Firbeck Hall at one bit. I'm on actually Lime Avenue. Zoom down there and you follow that through. Just through there is like a sign saying no entry, and I'm sure well, they'll probably never reopen that, but I don't know. I'm sure that was the second entrance way into this place. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go down where it says public bridleway, just here by the side of Firbeck Village Hall. I'll follow that path down and then I'll cut across the fields around the back and give you a view of the back of Firbeck Hall in the most complete state I can give you. So I'll follow the footpath around from where the village hall was, and then what you'll see is a signpost here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk around the left hand side of this field, and then I'll be able to show you the hall from the back end. And if you look there you can see a tree really stick up. I'm aiming for there. Now if you go this way up here, you come across a road, then through a bit of a wood, you'll find the original location of this, where the St Leger was run before it was run at Doncaster Racecourse. It had links with the Lord St Leger, who lived in Firbeck, so that's another little bit of history. There's so much history around here. And also around here, if you head up in that direction and go down towards Langold, you'll find something called the Galley Knight Estate, and that was somebody who was second in command to Oliver Cromwell, who put the king back on the throne after he'd been removed once Oliver Cromwell had died. So many historical links around here, and I blame that guy for us still having a monarchy now. So we're now around the back end of Firbeck Hall. It's very overgrown round here now, but I can give you a sort of appreciation for the quality of the renovation on Firbeck Hall. Just in front of me there's a lake there, but you can't see it very well on this picture. Then the area in front of the hall is full of rubble at one bit, and cabins, well, that's all been cleared over. That's all going to be lawn, that front. Let's just pull that in a bit more. I can get a better angle on this in the house in a bit, but I'll just move further around. But it's become very overgrown round here. But you can just see the absolute quality of it. The windows on it. So I'm just going to find the bridge and I can get so far across the bridge and get you a different angle on the house from there. And so I'm on what would be a beautiful stone bridge if you could see it properly, a bit like one of the bridges in Clumber Park, a bit overgrown on this side. You can see the lake at the back. I'm going to see if I can zoom in on the house, but it just shows you quality of the house from the back. Probably looking like it would have done in the 1930s in its heyday. Complete refurbishment of the building. I know there's plenty of Ghostbusters videos of this place where people have gone in at night. Not my cup of tea really, but you can actually see the building at some stage on the inside, how dilapidated it was. You can see grassed area in front of it now. This beautiful lake with wildlife on it. And just to the right hand side, it looks like it looks like where the stable block is, and it looks like there's work being undone on that as well. But I think the modern house, well, not modern housing, but the housing that's going to look like the hall is going to be going on the opposite side of the hall. On the left hand side, that definitely looks like an added bit. You can see a double door into it. I don't know what that's for, but the main part of the house is pretty much looking like how it would have done in the 1930s. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back round to West Lodge and actually see if I can actually see anything further in from that side. So if I can, I'll add something to the end of the video. If I can't, this will be the end of the video. I'm not actually in Firbeck Hall grounds, but I've come down the side of West Lodge. That I showed you at the start. There's a tarmac drive down there and it's a public right of way. I thought I'd just show you my walk back to West Lodge from just here. Just down here is something called the Lake House, beautiful house through there. You can get across here somewhere from the roadside, and I'm going to walk back. I've sort of come halfway up it. It's just so beautiful not to show it you. It sort of adds on to the side of Firbeck Hall, but it's not actually Firbeck Hall. But I think I can see work on the actual stable block for Firbeck Hall as we get back up, so you can have a quick view of it. Just shows you the different world that some people live in. I'd like to know how they acquire this type of wealth. Some guys can slave for a minimum wage all their life, while other people acquire wealth on this level and do a fraction of the work. But sometimes things are free. This is a public right of way, and anybody can appreciate this. As you come down the side of West Lodge on the tarmac road, you get right to the bottom and you'll see some gates that stop cars coming through. I just fixed my bike to the side of the fence down there, and then I walk through the public right of way. But I don't know what they actually do here. It looks like they grow trees and then cut them down. Whether they're just growing them for fuel. As we come out through here, you'll see lots of large houses with security cameras on them. And then on the left hand side, it's sort of the left hand side of Firbeck Hall grounds, and it looks like I can just see the stable. But look at that, that's somebody's garden. I once got lost when I first came up here, and I ended up walking up tarmac roads, which brought me very close to Firbeck Hall itself, and I just played dumb because I was lost, and somebody pointed out the correct path, but they weren't even that bothered that I was walking through the grounds that were private. See, there's lots of big houses around here. So you took through a secure gate, and then you've got secure properties. See another large property down there as well. Miles from anywhere. Now coming up to secure gate, just at the side of it. You find a walk through, and what I've just seen here as I was walking in, I think that is part of the stable block for Firbeck Hall, if I'm right. Or it's work going ahead on that. So if you follow this tarmac road back up, it'll take you up to West Lodge by the entranceway to Firbeck Hall itself. So it's this road sort of runs parallel with the road that's running through the hall itself. So that's just a quick snippet, gives you an appreciation of how other people live, and the question is, how do they amass that wealth?